Hey, this is Gene. I'm trying to get my act together here. Um, I'm just, it's rarely when we actually play well that we don't get anything from the game. I kept hearing the dude on NBC in the United States saying that it's the worst Arsenal's ever played. Well, why don't you say that maybe that's because Manchester United made him play that way? They We dominated that team. They got a goal that might have been should have been fouled, maybe not. Um, and it was clearly a penalty at the end. I do not understand why that was not called. He went right through his foot, I, to try to get to the ball. That's a penalty. That's a foul anywhere on the field, and they didn't call it there. And apparently, VAR didn't even look at it. I just, it's shocking to me. Um, we definitely went down a little bit after Mount came out, but we had several chances to win that game or at least get a goal. It's oh, they're still already. Mark's got some shit up in his thing. Um, there's no excuse for them not to go and look at that on VAR. He clearly hits his foot. His foot moves. That's a penalty every day. And if it was Manchester City, they would call it. And I hate to do that. I don't necessarily like to do that, but this is what happened today. Um, I nobody played poorly. Ugarte did make a couple stupid errors at the end of that game. Could have cost a goal for us, but getting the ball there like he was, he had two guys onto his right side, Imambu and I think Ahmad, and he decided to shoot from 35 yards out. Okay, that's fine, but he did get the ball back quite a bit. So I understand where his role is, and everybody played well, but you bring in the 6'5" striker, and you don't really cross it to him. They tried a little bit, but that should have been all of it, trying to get it to him. And then you have Maguire in there, and you got the Delict, and you know, and I mean, probably against anybody else, who probably would have scored at the end of that. But it's Arsenal certainly didn't deserve anything from that game. They, I don't think they had a shot on goal other than off that corner. I think we had 15 or 20 shots. We dominated them. And you know what? We did that last year as well at home, and it ended up being a draw. Um, it's the biggest problem that we have is that we just can't score. And there were several situations there where players got a little bit too selfish, and then Ahmad came in and took the ball off of Brian's foot. There were a couple good goals, good saves from Rhea, but this is, I guess you just have to, we have to deal with this is the improving thing. We clearly have improved. There's no question about that, and we have to take that. But how we shouldn't have all over that referee saying that was a penalty and almost force him to at least listen to VAR. I mean, it was clearly a and then you got the guy on NBC. Well, it's not really that. It's not enough when you sliding into a guy's foot when he's trying to hit the ball and you're not getting the ball. That's a foul, and it's anyway. Let me just go through the team rankings. I think I could talk. Well, first of all, Yorkeres doesn't look that good. I'm just going to say that he might be good against other teams, but that wasn't. Looks like Mark says fuming. Uh, at least we'll be fuming at the fact that the referee lost that game for us, and fuming because we should have won the game. So that should be a good fuming, I guess. But as far as the back line, Euro had a couple instances that was make me concerned, but he was 6, 7, 7. Delict 7. Um, Euro, Delict. I think that Shaw was a 7.5. He's probably one of our best players today. Dorgu was good when we were actually going quick. We kind of like didn't do the same thing. Now I'm sure Arsenal changed things, so we didn't do that as much. We came out at the second half. and we went really slow. And I think we're just waiting to get the other players on, and or just I thought for those first 15 minutes of the second half we were very slow, but we still dominated them, and they didn't do anything. Um, so yeah, the midfield, Casemiro was a 6.5. I thought he played well. Bruno was back and forth again. Um, Probably 6. I'm not going to say anybody is less than a 6. Mount was probably a 7.5. He was everywhere that first half. And we went down when he went out of the game. We need to allow him to stay in. And wants to say this, but there might be a time that when that happens, that Bruno has to sit and then Mount stays in, because as great as Bruno is, sometimes he gets missing in games. Um, so I got the midfield. Now all the guys in the front line did well. And, it's just we didn't score. So Brian 7, Cunha probably 7.5, right there with Shaw for player of the game. Should have had a penalty. It should be 1-1. We'd be upset, and Arsenal should be happy that they were leaving Old Trafford with a point. They had 3 points to win a game. They didn't deserve it. And I will always give a team who outplays us their credit. Arsenal was shit today, and just what I said, what these announcers were saying, well, it's because they didn't play well. You have to give credit to the team that they're playing, and we dominated them the entire game. So we're not. They talk about they're not getting to their next level. We're not where we're going to be either. Uh, when we actually can use those tens with Sesko, you're going to see a lot of different things, and you might actually see Bruno sitting down sometimes, because sometimes, and I will say this, that the substitutes, Ahmad was a threat, but bad decisions again, gotten away when it should have been a goal. But he is a threat. He, to me, is very similar to Garnacho. He is, and people don't want to hear that, but he is. Um,
All summer long, all of you have said we need a goalkeeper.
well, he's going to blame the goalkeeper. Well, that's fine. I mean, and I guess you can say that we lost the game because our goalkeeper didn't do anything.
We need 2 new goalkeepers, and
And
that has what
so
cost us. And it's
I'm not. I mean, Ballinger has to get a 4 because he lost that game for us. Um, what else did I say? The substitutes. I mean, obviously, Maguire tried to get in and try to do something, did everything he possibly could have done. Um, uh, Ugarte, until the point he almost lost the ball and that shot, I think he was doing pretty well. I'll give him a 6, but it could have been a 5 or 4 because his pass could have led to a goal. Who else? Anyway, it's awful that Arsenal played like shit and we outplayed them the entire game, but we didn't score, so we have to move on, and they get their thing, and we'll see them again. The last 3 times we played them, they have not outplayed us, so I'm okay with that. We have to go and beat the teams that are going to be the bottom 10, and just do better against the teams in the top 10, and we'll be fine. We saw a lot of an improvement, and I think that the team management was spot on. I think he had the right line out there. We could have scored early in that game. Gorgu could have scored. Cunha could have scored. It could have been 3-1 at halftime. We could have been up 5-1 at the end of this game. We dominated one of the best teams in Europe, apparently. And they were continually time wasting the entire game. After about the 20th minute, they were just doing it the entire game. And why we only got 6 minutes at the end of that game, after they would time wasting the entire game, that should be looked at as well. But the fact that it was not called as a penalty, that just it bothers me. If that wasn't a penalty, and I say, well, it happens sometimes. Even our great years, we would go in and just dominate a team and couldn't score. We didn't dominate like back in the '90s, but we deserved to win the game. And okay, we'll see him again. And that's all I have to say about that. We move on. And we'll just go from that. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll go forward. Bye.